Word of mouth is most likely hurting your business. Let me tell you why. Hey, what's going on? Uriel Kim here, CEO and founder of Healthpreneur. We help health professionals and coaches get more clients and scale their businesses online. And I want to share a slightly controversial topic with you here, which is something that sadly most health professionals rely on a little too heavily in their businesses, which is word of mouth. Don't get me wrong, word of mouth is a nice cherry on top. But if it's the foundation of how you're getting clients, you've built your business on a deck of cards, and it's only a matter of time before it falls. And I don't want that to happen to you because you're probably amazing at what you do. And like people need to know about you, right? Because you can probably help them in a really, powerful way. Why is word of mouth a problem? Why is it hurting your business? Well, here's the thing. I'm going to give you three reasons why. Three reasons why word of mouth is most likely hurting your business. Number one, word of mouth, if we think about it, let's just think of the scenario. Okay, you probably help many different types of people, right? Many different types of conditions and problems and pains, which is fine. Okay, I've got other videos talking about why in and of itself is a bit of an issue, but let's just say that's the case. And so what most health professionals come to us with is, I need to get more clients. Okay, great. How are you currently getting clients? And the most common answer is word of mouth. And so that's interesting. When you think of the number one reason why people come to work with us is because they need help getting clients. Yet the number one thing they do to get clients is relying on word of mouth. Do you see the problem there? Do you see the disconnect? So word of mouth marketing there's three issues why this is an issue, okay? Number one is you have absolutely zero control over the process. And if you can't control it, you can't scale it. And if you don't control it, you have no visibility of how you can start predicting or forecasting your business. And that sadly is not a business model. If you want to see how this can, flesh out, if you were to go to the bank to ask for a loan, which hopefully you never have to because there's really no reason to, unless again, you have a clinic with major overhead, which in and of itself is a major pain in the ass. But let's just say you go to the bank and the bank is like, great, awesome. So we're going to secure your property as collateral, which is one thing, but let's just put that aside for a second, okay? Let's just say that they gave you a loan based on the merit of your business plan, which should be the case, but it isn't always. And so you're like, cool. They're like, tell us about how you are going to grow your business. And you're thinking to yourself, well, people just kind of come by. They just kind of come in. People like spread the word. And the business manager's like, great, awesome, wicked. We'll get back to you. Okay, so that's scenario one. Scenario two, let's say you went on Shark Tank or Dragons Den in Canada where I live. And you're asking for an investment from the sharks or the dragons, which again, you don't need. If you have a smart business, you should never have outside investment for the most part. And they're asking you, okay, great, what's your business plan? How are you going to grow this bad boy? And you're saying, well, I'm really good at what I do. So they just kind of talk about me and people come. Again, they'd be like, I'm out, I'm done. Because there's no rhyme or reason to what it is you're doing, right? And I'm not saying this is your fault. The problem is this whole nonsense we've been brought into. Like as a professional, you go through years and years and years of schooling to become amazing technically at what you do. And then they're like, here's this degree, you can go help people. Oh, by the way, if you don't know how to find them, too bad, figure it out. That's pretty much what happens is you are supposed to figure out how to build a business. And most people have no clue, which is why we Healthpreneur exist in the first place. So you have no control over word of mouth, right? That's why I say it's the cherry on top. It's nice. It's good to have, right? And just so I'm clear, there's a very big difference between word of mouth, which is a passive, I have no control over the situation type of thing, and orchestrating referrals, which sounds on the surface similar, but very different. When I say orchestrating referrals, I mean you have a very predictable, systemized process for how you encourage clients to refer business to you. And when I say systemized, orchestrated process, I'm literally saying at this touch point, when this happens after this many weeks or whatever, Here's exactly what this person is going to tell that person in order to come into this clinic or to work with me virtually. That's what I'm talking about. But sadly, most practitioners don't even know about that. So they're just like, yeah, people like spread the word. Come on in, right? So that's the first thing, is you have no control over it. Second thing is that it breeds laziness, because a lot of practitioners, they succeed in spite of themselves. So they're like, yeah, like it's good. Like people kind of come in and yeah, like, you know, I help their parents and their friends and all sorts of conditions and problems. You know, you deal with everything. And the challenge with that is that, and when I say it breeds laziness, is because when you have stuff falling in your lap, then you proactively don't really need to market as much. And that might sound good on the surface, because a lot of people think that, hey, like I don't need to market. I'm so good. People come to me. That should not be something to be proud of. I mean, like, yes, it is proud. You should be proud of the people you're helping. But you should also be so good, and you should also have a business that is so dialed in that you can advertise and you can spend money on marketing, because if you know if you spend $1, you make $5 in return. That's a real business. Okay, we'll talk about that in another video. Actually, below this video, we've got a great training called the Perfect Client Pipeline, which will show you how to attract clients who've never heard of you, the exact clients you want to work with, and have them come into your world so that when they do speak with you, they're like, man, I didn't know you existed until like a day ago, but man, I need to work with you. If you'd like to see how that happens and how it can happen very quickly for you in such a way that's predictable, consistent, and a lot more automated than posting on social media or kind of sitting back and hoping that things are going to improve, watch the training. I'm serious. It'll change your life. I digress. So the second issue is this whole notion of breeding laziness. And the reason that this is a bigger problem is that if you don't develop the business skills that are required to be a business owner, then you will never have the business you want. The challenge as a practitioner, and listen, like I lived this life for a long time, is that statistically 1 out of every 2 practitioners is burnt out. And they're burnt out because they're treading water all the time. By treading water, I mean they're seeing patients and clients all the day, like all day long. And they have no time to come up for air and really build the bigger strategy and build the actual business. They're working in it, not on it. And so the thing I often tell people is like, you got to stop treading water and you have to start building the boat. And when we are passive, we're not building the boat, because we're so busy in the water treading just to survive, trading time for money, client in, client out, payment in, payment out. And it's not sustainable, right? If you can relate to this, like give me a hell yes, right? Like I lived this life for 7 years, 12 to 16 hours a day, one-on-one. It was a nightmare. I loved helping my clients, but I'm very, very happy those days are way behind me. So in order to get around the kind of the passiveness, we have to be proactive with our marketing. And in order to be proactive with our marketing, we need to be very clear about what that's going to look like. And when we solely rely on people falling into our laps, we don't think we have to market, because we have these people just dropping in. And so although initially it sounds like, oh, this is great, in the long term, it's actually weakening you. It's actually disempowering you, because you don't need to develop the necessary skills to build a real sustainable business. Okay. So those are the two big reasons why word of mouth is hurting your business. And the third thing that I'll mention here is that, again, word of mouth, it's great. But again, this is up for debate, but this is the way I see this, is when you rely on word of mouth, you technically can have anybody fall into your business. And whether or not you want that to happen is up to you. But let's say you're a specialist, which probably is a good idea, because specialists make more money and it's a lot easier to stand out as a specialist than a generalist. So if you were a specialist and you helped people with, let's say, adult acne, then you only deal with people with adult acne, and everyone knows you as the person for that. But when you're a generalist, the challenge becomes, well, you have people with adult acne, some with weight issues, some with fatigue, some with autoimmune issues, some with like whatever it is. And so that type of business is impossible to scale, because everyone is a special snowflake. And although there's obviously very similar protocols for different conditions, the reality is that there's no standardized way of helping a large group of people because everyone coming in is different and unique and every problem might be a little bit different. So we speak with a lot of practitioners who they're capped. I call this the capacity ceiling. They've hit their capacity in terms of the number of people they can serve and the amount of money they can make. And the reason that is the case is because there's a very finite number of hours in a week and there's only so much energy you have. So let's say you can work 10 hours a day, 5 days a week. That's 50 hours. And let's say you earn $100 per hour with clients. Okay, so let's just call it 40 hours, 10 is on admin and whatever stuff. So 40 hours a week, $100 an hour for client work, that's $4,000 a week. That's $16,000 a month, but it's full-time work, right? That's not bad, $16,000 a month. But here's the thing, that is the most money you can ever make, period. Unless you're selling products on the back end, unless you hire other practitioners and you have the space to do that and you're taking a percentage of their stuff, you're capped at $16,000 a month, period. If you're happy with that, that's great. But also out of that amount of money, how much are you taking out for yourself? Because there's a difference between business income and personal income, right? And what happens if you take a week off? Here's what it typically looks like. Revenue's up here when you're working. You take a week off, revenue just goes to zero because of trading time for money. So it's not sustainable. And the reason that going back to word of mouth is a problem is that if anyone is able to come into your clinic, right, then you have an issue on the scalability side of the delivery because you have no standardized way of maybe bringing intellectual property into the equation where, for instance, in a virtual setting, you can walk many people of the same problem or condition through a standardized program that you walk them through, guide them through, see them through. And there certainly can be some customizations along the way, but that way, you never have this trading time for money ceiling. And you can help more people at the same time and there's no ceiling on that. It's the same way that our client Ryan, who's a chiropractor, near bankruptcy at the end of 2019, started working with us, and within 9 months with his online health business, they help people with Hashimoto's do $1.5 million per month consistently. How does somebody go from almost bankruptcy to $1.5 million, not per year, per month, month over month? How does that happen? Well, there's two things. Number one, we helped him clean up the delivery. So he wasn't helping everyone. And because of that, they have a standardized program that's not a do-it-yourself course. It's like an actual coaching program that they walk their clients through that get amazing results. And if someone has knee pain, guess what? They don't work with those people. There are other experts who can deal with knee pain, right? They're not hurting for business. They're doing okay. So they have the delivery streamlined. So not just anyone is dropping in, but people who do refer business to them know, hey, I know my cousin Jane has some thyroid stuff. I think it's Hashimoto's. You should talk to these guys because they're the best. That's what happens when you become a specialist. So the delivery piece is taken care of. And the second reason they're able to scale, and why so many of our clients are able to go from capacity ceiling or I need more clients to I have the exact people I want coming into my pipeline every single day, is because they have a perfect client pipeline. That's what I alluded to earlier. It's a four-step system that essentially puts your stuff out there. When I say your stuff, I mean a very specific message into the exact audiences that you want to bring into your world, and very predictably, automatically, and consistently brings you more leads and high-paying clients on a daily basis. And it doesn't require you blogging, shooting YouTube videos like this one, doing stuff on Instagram, none of that stuff. If you'd like to learn more about how that can work in your business, then click the link below, watch the training today. Again, it will change your life. I'm serious. So hopefully this video has given you some food for thought as it pertains to word of mouth. Again, I'm not saying word of mouth is bad. I am saying word of mouth, relying on it solely, is a big issue. That's the distinction here, okay? Listen, again, word of mouth, orchestrating referrals, two different things. If you can focus on orchestrating referrals, which we'll talk about in another video, way better. Relying on word of mouth, very, very dangerous for your business, okay? So again, if you want help, watch the training below. And in the meantime, if you've enjoyed this video, we've got tons of other stuff on the channel and a lot more good stuff coming your way to get more clients and help you grow an amazing online health business. So Be sure to subscribe wherever that thingamajig is so you don't miss a single thing. And thanks so much for your time and attention. I know you have other places you could spend it, so I appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks so much.